Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Oh Who Is You podcast, the show where we dive into pop culture, daily dramas, celebrities, and horror stories. I'm your host, Natalia, and today we're going to be talking about some high school drama with my best friends. Let's invite our guests, Avia, Bacha, and Diksha. Welcome to the podcast. How are you guys feeling today?
I feel amazing. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm feeling really nice. Thank you. I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
I feel very grateful to be here.
That's great. Let's head on to the first question, shall we? Who was the biggest troublemaker or drama king/queen in your high school?
In my opinion, I think it was Avia, as he was always starting the dramas and getting into them. I think the most iconic drama involved Avia and Tayuba. They both fancied the same guy, and if I remember correctly, they had a huge argument on who would get them, ruining their friendship. And in the end, the guy ended up playing both of them, but they ended up reconciling.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of agree with Sebastian on this. I think we both were too young and naive to understand not to let a guy get in between our friendship. And if you were in my high school, I'm pretty sure you guys know how close we were.
Oh, I agree. So one iconic drama for me is that when Shaiwani and Avia had a fight, all because of a study session. So they went to Avia's home for a study session, but at the end they didn't even study. They just got into an argument because Shaiwani took off her socks in Avia's bed, and Avia felt disgusted. So at the end, he didn't give Shaiwani slippers to go to the toilet.
That was actually a really funny story. I wish the listeners in this podcast were here to witness it. But I think it's time for you to ask the next question, right?
Yes, this one's for you, Sadiksha. What was the craziest high school crush or teenage love story you remember? Since I heard there's a lot of scandals that you have been getting in recently, so let's take a walk down on memory lane and reach back to that one story that we had when we were grade 8.
Oh, okay, so we were like 13 years old at that time. I remember I had a crush on this guy since primary called Ball Guy. So basically, let's travel to think one of my worst days ever. So we were going to go play volleyball with obvious friends. So we invited Ball Guy, and turns out he had a girlfriend, which truly broke my heart into many pieces because it was my crush. Honestly, I think that was my first heartbreak ever, but I got over it and focused on someone new who loves me and actually cares for me. That is had
Whoa, this is almost news to me since I wasn't there on the day. But I'm glad you moved past all this. This question is for you, Bacha. Have you ever had a hilarious or embarrassing fight with a friend or classmate that still makes you laugh? I just hope it's not the one I think it might be.
It is that one. It was the one I had with Avia, and I remember that it all started because of Diksha. It was during PE lesson where Avia was being very mean to Diksha, making her feel very sad. And I remember that I was feeling very mad with him as he was being very immature. And it escalated quick as we both got into a heated argument and started insulting each other back and forth. But at the end, we both made up and Diksha ended up forgiving Avia.
Honestly, I feel like I totally agree with you, but I'm just glad that you took some of the blame and didn't just blame it all on me. And I'm glad you improved.
Oh, I'm so glad this question made it in the final list. I'm just gonna tell my story for this question. Remember that time me, Sartak, and Ananya were in a love triangle and how we just fought over a guy? Honestly, I don't think our beef ever subsided because she left before we could actually talk it out. Well, so anyway, the question was, did you ever witness or participate in a high school love triangle or friendship fallout?
Yes, honestly, I'm gonna talk about that one time I was really close with this Form 3 girl named. I'm just gonna say her short name. Her name was. And I was really close with her because of I was in cheer, right? So we got really close for a period of time. And she had this situationship named, we'll call him Big Mac. So she introduced me to Big Mac, and I felt this like random spark out of nowhere. So, as if you know me, I have a history of stealing people's mans, which is, yeah. So, I got really close with him, and for a second, we did kind of had like something for each other. But then I told about it, which technically, made me a bad friend, but at least I was trying to improve. So we had this whole argument about how I could fix this, but I really had no solution because, I couldn't control my feelings about Big Mac. So I just told her that, like, she can distance away from me from, like, for a while. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Did you guys make up yet?
No, but I'm pretty sure one day we will because I know that our friendship was really special and it was really close to my heart.
Well, that's great. Well, let's wrap it up with this last question. This one's for all of you. If you could go back and give your high school self one piece of advice about dealing with drama, what would it be? The advice I would give myself is not to buy too much makeup with much money.
So, what advice I would give to my old self is that I should have been more expressive. And instead of being silent, I should have let out my feelings and talk it out with them. So they would have known what was going through my mind, and instead of letting in my feelings, I should have let it out and shared it with others.
Yes, I'm really glad that you moved on and improved yourself. But the advice I would give myself is to, instead of always lashing out at people, I would like try to understand how they're feeling and understand where they're coming from, understand their point of view, and obviously stop stealing people's mans.
So for me, one advice I would give to myself is that I should stop whining because it was very immature of me. And yeah.
Oh, with you listeners, I think it's time we take a commercial break.
I knew that I had a purpose to ride bulls. Sometimes it's people's first time seeing bull riding, let alone seeing a girl ride a bull.
Hang on tight.
Not her first rodeo, Thursdays at 10 on Freeform.